You are now watching The Meech.
What? You're playing Yoshi's Poochy World? After all, Poochy's are synergetic. I don't know what T&D was doing in my mind rent-free, but I gotta let him know he needs to pay his rent soon, because we're doing a video on Yoshi's Crafted World. I'm joined by Reese, and we actually did this, like, it was originally going to be a Yoshi story episode of Demetrius Arcade. Then it kind of got brought up, why not do Crafted World, since you haven't played Yoshi's story in quite some time, and I thought, okay, that's a pretty cool idea, because this game is actually really cool, and it's highly underrated, and I would say even overhated. But we'll definitely get into that in the video.
I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I actually prefer Crafted World to Woolly World. Like, it's just, like, it's a few different factors, but I actually prefer Crafted World to Woolly World.
Yeah, I would say so too. I just think this game is more unique. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go the first level, because I think there are still some collectibles, like the flowers, but we need to change our Yoshi first. This Yoshi is no bueno, so we're gonna choose a Yoshi. Unfortunately, I'd say Woolly World is better in this case. There's a lot more designs, but we just have the standard colors. But if I had to choose, it would either be red or orange Yoshi, because red Yoshi is like a flamin' hot Cheeto. Have you had flamin' hot Cheeto Puffs before? They are so good, but oh my gosh, they're
Oh yeah, they're good.
Extra flamin' hot is where the heat's at. Like, you can have the regular flamin' hot and the Puffs, and I feel nothing. But, oh my gosh, the extra flamin' hot are very spicy. But we're actually...
Yeah, hot chips in general are pretty good.
Yeah, the thing is, I hated them when I was in elementary school, but once middle school hit, I thought, okay, I'll give them a try, and ever since I've been hooked. So, we're gonna choose Orange Yoshi because of Soshi the Yoshi. He is a loyal fan to both of us, and he is awesome, so we're doing this in honor of you, buddy. So, we're gonna play the first level, I believe, in Yoshi's Crafted World, and this is Poochy's Tape Trail. So, with this game, you have certain objectives, like get 100 coins, I think those are coins, gotta keep your hearts. It's essentially kind of like Yoshi's Island, but different. So this is one of the Poochy levels I noticed, so we could play this, and then we could play something else, like another level in the game. Because the Poochy levels are a little bit different, but, you know, the history with this game is a little bit interesting too. Because you remember at E3 2017, they just announced Yoshi, we were wondering what was going on with the game.
Yeah, and didn't it show that, well, I know this game was, I think it's the only Nintendo game made in Unreal Engine. Well, I know it was developed by Goodfield, but it's still the only Nintendo game with Unreal Engine, which I find pretty interesting, and I think they revealed that at E3 2017.
I think they did. Nintendo, hire this man. So, yeah. Even though it's using Unreal Engine, it looks amazing. Like this, it literally looks like you're in Michael's, you created the Crafted World set. I love to do arts and crafts, I love projects, I love art, so this game is definitely up my alley. Now, like I said before, I've noticed this game gets a lot of hate. Like people don't like this game for some reason. Now, is it too easy? It could be in some cases, but there are a lot of challenging levels towards the end. Nothing too major like Lost Levels or even Donkey Kong Country Returns, but, you know, I definitely think that there's still a lot of cool level design. There's multiple objectives. Some people don't like to 100% games like this, but I love doing that, specifically. Like with games like Captain Toad and like we're playing Yoshi's Crafted World. I'd say, yeah, more replay value the better.
And one of the things I like about this game, well, I mean, more than Woolly World, is, yeah, like you said, the level design and also the art style. I really like kind of like the arts and crafts thing, and I really like how they get creative with a lot of the stuff. Like, I think there's like one level where they have like a milk carton, and it's like Moo Moo Meadows milk or something like that.
Yeah.
And I really like those references. It just seems like it's like connected to the Mario world and everything. It seems like it's actually like a part of that. And one thing that I like about this game is that, like, its story and everything doesn't have to do with crafts at all. It just has to do with, like, trying to stop Baby Bowser. Usually kind of like Woolly World, well, I mean, more like Yoshi's story, but,
I see where you're going there. Let's not even go there, buddy.
Yeah, but I mean, I like when games stick to their
Origins.
Yeah, rather than, oh, look, Yoshi has to stop the crafted king. I'm not gonna go any farther, but yeah.
Thank you. But another thing that's cool is this tried something a bit different compared to other 2D platformers, because the way I see it, it's kind of like a 2D, 3D platformer. Like there are multiple missions, you can go in the backgrounds. It kind of reminds me of Virtual Boy Wario Land, which sadly a lot of people haven't played because it's Virtual Boy we're talking about. But
yeah, and that actually brings up another reason why I like this game better than Woolly World. I feel like there's more interaction and better mechanics, I would say, than Woolly World, because I think, like, you could actually, in some places, you could actually shoot eggs in the background and foreground, which I find really cool, and it actually puts more depth in the game, and it kind of, like you said, it makes this kind of like a mixture of a 2D and a 3D game, kind of, because you can kind of move in between. I would even say, like, a lot of people say, like, games that appear to be 3D but play in 2D are 2.5D. I would say that this game is 2.75D.
really, that's pretty bold of you to say. But,
Yeah.
you know, I
Well,
definitely
mean,
could see it.
That's kind of mixing up the, like you said before, the 2.5D, which was basically like Woolly World and Yoshi's Story, the games before it, and it kind of adds depth to it, which you can move like in between the foreground and background. That's why I would call it a 2.75D game.
Yeah, as you see what I'm doing right now, I'm going in between the backgrounds, and like you said, you can throw the eggs in multiple directions. So, that's really cool, and I really haven't seen many games do that. But the question remains, would I recommend Yoshi's Crafted World if you have a Switch? The answer to that? Heck yes. If you want to play a 2D platformer that's really unique and very cool, this is definitely the way to go. If you love the Yoshi games, you're probably going to love this. It does have some flaws, but all games do. But I will notice the major flaws of the game. I do think the music isn't very good, but, I mean, in Yoshi games, Woolly World and I think the original Yoshi's Island are the only ones that really had bangers. Specifically the original Yoshi's Island on SNES. DS sounded good.
I would actually say that the music in Crafted World is kind of like... There's actually some songs that I like in Crafted World, and then there's that mini-game music that, like, not the slot machine, but the thing where you get the costumes from. That was horrible. That's almost like Yoshi's New Island level of horrible music. But the boss theme is actually pretty cool in this game. I kind of like to listen to it sometimes. So I would say that the soundtrack of this game is pretty polarizing. Like, there's some good ones in there, some neutral ones, and then some bad ones. I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag with this game.
Yeah, I would say so. And a soundtrack can really just change a lot of people's opinion because you're going to hear it throughout the whole game. So I feel like that could be a reason why a lot of people don't see this game in very high regard. But like I said before, it's an underrated gem on the Switch. Like, you have games like on the Switch that are 2D, of course, mostly indie games, but I'd say, out of the original 2D platformers Nintendo made on the Switch, this is easily the best one.
Yeah, and I would also like to add that there's just a lot of unique enemies and, like, locations in this game that are really cool. Like, there's like a level where you go to the moon, which is really cool. And they did that a lot in, like, past Mario games. Like, the better Mario games, they usually did that. But I felt like it was really cool. Like, that one level, that's probably my favorite level in Yoshi's Crafted World, where you go onto the rocket and go up. I think that's really cool, and I really enjoyed that level. And also, like, there's like a level where you go through the desert, and there's like this dinosaur thing that's like, I think it's controlled by Shy Guys, and I think that's really cool. And all of the new Shy Guy variants are really good. Like, there's a vampire Shy Guy and a zombie Shy Guy. I think it's really cool what they're doing with the enemies and the crafted aspects of this game to make new original enemies and new concepts and bosses and stuff like that. And they did that to a degree in Woolly World, but I felt like they kind of expanded it in this game, in my opinion. I felt like the enemy variation and like the new ideas that they had in Yoshi's Crafted World made for some unique experiences and a lot of unique enemies and bosses and stuff like that throughout the game, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I do too. As we've seen through this level, there are all kinds of different enemies. The ones with the tongue kind of remind me of Lick-a-Tongue from Pokemon, or the evolution Licky Licky. That has to be one of the dumbest Pokemon, but you can't... on levels of dumbness, I think he's on par, if not dumber than Mr. Mime, but I can't help but love them both. It's just hysterical. Alright, so Poochy, I like how Yoshi's riding Poochy and you can see the animations and stuff. Very nice attention to detail. There's a Moo Moo Meadows milk you were talking about, although I'm not sure if the Canadian version changed it from a carton to bag milk. You know what bag milk is? In Canada they have that.
I've actually seen it when I went to Canada, when I went to a grocery store in Canada.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I went to Canada. Actually, over 10 years now. I went to Toronto and I went to the downtown. They had all kinds of different foods and stuff. They had gigantic carrots. They had rambutans, durians. I heard Toronto is essentially the most diverse place on Earth. Like, it's one of the most diverse cities with all different cultures. There's even a Greek town in Toronto, which is very cool. Though, unfortunately, I didn't go there during my stay because it was only for a few days, but I'm looking forward to going back to Canada, if not for Timmy's since I started drinking coffee when I was in 8th grade, and the ketchup lays I missed out on. I wonder if you've had those. Have you, the ketchup lays?
Oh yeah, I actually get them every time I go to Canada.
Yeah, the thing is, I had them a while back, but I don't remember much about them. I had the ketchup chips when I was in Greece, they have those, and they also had mustard chips, which I found that to be a little bit bizarre, but they're still pretty good.
Yeah, and I actually really like the ketchup chips, because I think it originated from actually putting ketchup on chips, and then they actually had which was a thing in Canada, and that evolved into the Lay's ketchup chips, which are amazing. I would say it perfectly blends the flavor of ketchup and chips, and it tastes really good. Because I feel like potatoes in general taste really good with ketchup. It's just like, it's kind of like the perfect mixture.
Oh, totally. But unfortunately, it's been a while since I've had ketchup chips. Why is it that here we can't get ketchup chips, but we can literally have rotisserie chicken flavored Pringles? Why that is beyond me. Like, they're literally turning everything into cereal or chips, but we can't have flavors like ketchup. But at the end of the day, we're the same country that has Pepsi Blue again. They actually brought that back. I've had some for the first time, and I gotta say, I'm impressed. I really like it. Though I rarely drink soda anymore, so it's kind of a rare treat.
Yeah, I don't drink soda that often. I usually just drink either water, seltzer, tea, or coffee, basically.
Yeah, nowadays I mostly drink seltzer water, water with Mio, sometimes water, or coffee. But yeah, I do kind of miss soda, but it's very high in calories, so you gotta watch out for that. So let's see. So this is one of the cases where we're gonna have to solve a little bit of a puzzle, because this game does have some puzzle elements, though nothing will really perplex you.
That's another thing I like about this game, that it has like a lot of puzzles and stuff like that. Because I feel like sometimes 2D platformers can get like, just that sometimes if you just have the basic run across a level, run and jump across a level, then finish it, I feel like that's kind of boring. I really like that the Yoshi games have been doing more unique things, and especially with this game, with the puzzle aspects, are really cool, and I really like how they do that.
Yeah, me too. But for the second thing we're gonna do in the game, and this is also the final, we are gonna find Poochy Pups. And this time, we're gonna play as another fan, which you'll see. It's another Yoshi. This one is not orange, but he's still equally as cool. And by cool, I literally mean a cool color. So we're gonna change the Yoshi, and we are choosing... I still need to get past loading screens. I'm stuck in the 80s. Or 90s. N64 didn't have loading times, did it? No, it didn't. Although I didn't get my N64 until 2015, so... Yeah, DS games, I don't think I remember any of them loading. So this is Yoshi Pool right here. I would usually choose the red or purple Yoshi because, one, the red Yoshi is just iconic and looks like a flaming hot Cheeto Puff. And the purple Yoshi, purple is one of my favorite colors. First orange, then purple. So we need to find some Poochy Pups, and we're actually timed. So there's a lot of different objectives.
You know, I know this is kind of a random question, but if you were a Yoshi, what color would you be? Like, just like a specific color. Like, not just...
That's a good question, because Yoshis, it just depends, because in this game, it's mostly the Yoshis that they've acknowledged before. I would probably say brown Yoshi, since he hasn't appeared in a game since Yoshi's Island. And it's just, there's something so mysterious and mystique about him that I really like. But also, maybe orange Yoshi? Or purple Yoshi? But I'd probably say brown Yoshi from the original Yoshi's Island. It's so cool that they have all the different colors for Yoshis and stuff. Though they don't have different abilities like in Mario World. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I really like the games that have the Yoshi abilities.
Yeah, with Super Mario Galaxy 2, they really did good with that. So we found one Poochy Pup. One Poochy Pup! So we gotta find the others. And for our ranking, we have to do this in a speedrun, pretty much. And what's cool about the Poochy Pups is they function as unlimited eggs, pretty much.
Going back to that question that I said earlier about the what color Yoshi you are, I would have to say that I would be a light blue Yoshi because I just really like that color on Yoshi. I think it looks really cool, and just that shade of blue looks really nice.
You know, there's a Yoshi amiibo that's light blue. It's a Yarn Yoshi.
Yeah, that's actually the one I have.
I have all the Yarn Yoshi amiibos, including the Mega and Poochy. So, yeah, I love myself some Yoshi amiibos. They're adorable. I wonder if Nintendo will ever just...
the Smash Yoshi and the Woolly Yoshi, or the light blue Woolly.
I wonder if Nintendo will start making amiibos again, other than Smash. They did it for 3D World, but it seems like they're not doing too much with them anymore, which is a shame, because they're, like, a very high quality.
I don't feel like they will ever be completely dead, at least for the next maybe 5 years. I feel like they're always going to be there to a degree. I would even say that right now they're doing it like slightly more than they did like in the past 2 years. Because I mean, they did Monster Hunter 3D World, and I mean, Monster Hunter, even though that's Capcom and not Nintendo, Nintendo is still treating that as a major exclusive, as like Sony and Microsoft would treat their exclusives on their consoles. So I would say that's still a major Nintendo Switch exclusive, and that did have Amiibo and 3 Amiibo that released with the game, which is pretty interesting for a third-party game, even though they actually did that in the past with Monster Hunter. I would say that, like, maybe in the future we'll see, like, a kind of, like, just slightly more than usual. I wouldn't say they're completely dying out. I would say that they're still gonna have, like, a steady rate of Amiibo for new games and stuff like that, since we had Link's Awakening in 2019, and I just feel like sometimes, like every so often, we'll get a game that has Amiibo support or new Amiibo with it, because usually Nintendo actually likes to re-release Amiibo, and they've been doing that recently, so it feels like they're just pushing Amiibo a little bit.
Yeah, I hope they do return, because ever since they upped the quality, I think in 2017, it's really showed. Like, you've seen the original Amiibo lineup. You had the original Wave 1. Marth didn't look too hot. Link didn't either, but now they look perfect. So I would say it's definitely worth the premium price, because they look so much better. It's reflective of the value. Also,
I would even say that the reprints look slightly better than the originals, because, like, I was comparing pictures of, like, the reprints to the original versions of them, and I feel like not the design, but just, like, the quality in general has improved, like, with the Bowser reprint when, 3D World, released on the Switch and everything, and they usually do these reprints around, like, when certain games get updates, or when certain games release, and stuff like that.
yeah. I haven't noticed that though. The only one I remember having a distinct difference with the reprint is the Villager amiibo from the Smash Bros. Series. So I hope amiibos do come back, because, you know, they're very high quality figures, and, you know, just having a figure of an obscure character, like Mr. Game & Watch. I love Mr. Game & Watch, because I'm a huge Game & Watch connoisseur, and just having merchandise that isn't actual Game & Watch is pretty cool. So I think...
Yeah, and it feels really interesting to just have, like, on my shelf, to have, like, Banjo-Kazooie, Wooly, Yoshi, Tom Nook, Ness, Pikachu, Inkling. It just feels so cool to have, like, all of these different characters, even Byleth. Even though I'm not really into Fire Emblem at all, but I just, like, decided to get the Byleth amiibo along with the Banjo-Kazooie amiibo.
Yeah, I did too, because I mainly collect them, and I think I'm only missing the Smash Bros. Inkling. But, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Demeech.
I'm Reese.
And keep calm and Dada on.